Hello everybody and welcome back to Tier 1 with Road to Glory. We are back again. Apologies for missing last week. I wasn't feeling too good, so I took a week out. But I am back this week commentating live for you on Tier 1. What a race I'm sure we've got in store as ever with these guys. We are at Hungary. We're at the Hungaroring, which always brings up great drama. It's a difficult track to overtake this. You need a lot of downforce. It's very difficult to get the front end to grip round these long corners. But we've got a couple of guys tuned in already. We've got Benjamin in the chat. Hey, big boy. And also, good luck, boys. Yes, good evening, both of you. And absolutely good luck to all the drivers out there this evening. We've got 17 drivers ready to go by the looks of it, and we've got a couple of people already heading out on the track. Looks like we've got Joven, we've got Bottomer, and we got One Wing all out on track at the moment. Who's in lead? It looks like One Wing will be the first driver to cross the track, so we're going to get on a few details for you now as we go up. Got One Wing driving for the Williams car, one of my favourite cars on this game, personally. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, it's a little bit plain, but I think it looks very smart. Got to support the British. But let's see what we got. A long qualifying session ahead of us so far. Quite a few people look like they're currently choosing the medium tyres, however they may change that before they go out for their lap. We will wait and see. As we watch One Wing round the final corner now, we will jump on board with him as our first qualifying lap, and we will take you on a tour of the Hungaroring down this straight. Not a very long straight, braking about 75 yards. Difficult. You've got to get the apex as much as you can. So second or third gear, get on the power as early as you can, and the DRS zone is right away. So that's your second DRS zone. Then an awkward left-hander. Hairpin just goes on and on and on. And the key here is to get on the power as early as possible, because you will gain time all the way down and then up the hill into this very, very fast left-hander. Try not to run wide and invalidate. Try not to lose the back end. And then same around this right-hander. Don't want to hit that curb on the inside, otherwise you will pretty much automatically spin. And then we go into the slow speed second sector through the tight chicane. Again, don't take too much curb or you'll invalidate or lose the back end. And then it's all about getting the front end grip round here, getting about the right racing line and hooking the car up beautifully. One Wing on those medium compound tyres. You can see he's on the yellow striped Pirelli tyres coming into the final sector now. Relatively straightforward 90-degree right-hander there, and then we've got another long hairpin left, but a little bit slower, a little bit tighter this time. Don't be too eager to get on the power. And then another final hairpin to the right. Again, want to get on the power as early as possible, but it just induces understeer. And he's going to set us up with a 117.654. Not a bad lap indeed. Who else is coming across the line? Paul Jones is coming across the line to do his outlap. Bottomer will be the next to set a lap time, I believe. As he comes across the line, he does a 119.456 on medium, so a good couple of seconds slower than One Wing, unfortunately. I'm sure he won't be very happy with that. Russ will be next to cross the line. He is on the red striped soft tyres, so expect him to go a little bit quicker than the other guys, and he certainly does. A 116.6 now on that one. Who else have we got? Kez starting his flying lap. Looks like there is a racing point behind that. Is Aki, who slots into second place on medium tyres, 116.8. That's a very impressive lap by Mark. Mark getting used to no traction control still. He's doing incredibly well. There we go. Jason goes a little bit quicker in the other pink Mercedes, 115.9 on mediums. That's an incredible lap. Chuckle Brothers, though, beating them on the soft tyres. T2 the B2 now goes even quicker, 114.780. That's definitely one to watch out for. Let's keep an eye on Paul Jones's in the Red Bull. Let's see what he can do as he goes across the line. Even quicker, 114.429. And now the lap times are tumbling down. These are some very, very quick laps indeed. I got Joven coming in the pits there. Who have we got? Bumper Car Ben, he's on his out lap, so he's going to be going on a fast lap. Let's watch with him. He's been quite an interesting chap to watch recently. He's been getting up to speed with his new wheel and been setting some very, very good pace indeed. Through the first corner he goes, down into this left-hander. Like I say, you want to get the front of the end of the car in turned in so well, and then you want to get on the power, on the throttle so early, earlier than you think, but without losing the car. Using quite a lot of curb on the inside there, but he gets away without an invalidation. That's judged nicely by the AlphaTauri driver. In through the chicane he goes, nicely going. Looks like he's got this AlphaTauri hooked up fairly nicely indeed. He's using all of the track at his disposal. You certainly have to do that around here, but so easy to run wide, get an invalidation or get a time penalty. There is a Ferrari who's in his way, and he's having to compromise his braking zone into the right-hander. That's a bit of a shame. Not sure who that was. Was that T2? It certainly was T2, the B2. Hopefully it hasn't cost the AlphaTauri too much time whatsoever. As he round in the final corner now. What's bumper car Ben gonna set for us? He's gonna go into 5th place, 1:15.9. Not a bad lap at all. We keep getting Joven seems to be having some connection issues. He keeps leaving and joining. As we watch Jim Bob on his outlap running a little bit wide. The reigning champion from Tier 1. Just trying to get up to speed. As we see Gronfeld out on the mediums as well. Quite a lot of drivers choosing to go out on those medium tyres. The preferred tyre to start on, it seems, at this point in time. Certainly if you're in the top 10, that's the tyre you'll be starting on. But if you qualify outside the top 10, as ever, you will have a free choice of tyres. So you can start on brand new tyres and any compound you wish. Using a little bit of the curbs, but not too much. You can use a lot of curb on the right-hand side on the way into that chicane, but you don't want to use the one on the left. It's extremely big, will unsettle the car, and it will invalidate your lap if you go too far over as well. Gronfeld goes purple in the middle sector. We will wait and see whether that is genuine or a glitch, because we do have a few issues with Codemasters. But let's see, he's certainly got the pace on those mediums. Can he put it right up at the top? Round the last corner, and he invalidates. It's a real shame. It would have been a 1:16.1, which would have seen him into 6th place. Absolutely gutting for Gronfeld there. But let's see with Jim Bob, and right on board with him for the last sector now. In through the right-hander, drop it down a gear, or you could nearly get away with being flat out through that right-hander. It's like a dare you sort of corner, but you can't quite in qualifying. Round the difficult left-hander. Right, that's the corner I always struggle with. I always lock up on the way in and then got the power and spin it coming out. It's one I find very difficult. Nobody's had any problems so far. Jim Bob slots into 6th place, a 1:16.0. That is on medium tyres though, so a very good lap by the Ferrari driver, and he joins his teammate T2, the B2, up in the top 6. As we go, Gronfeld is invalidated that lap, so he'll probably come in. Who else have we got out? Just Joven to set a lap, but I'm not sure whether that Joven is in the lobby or not, as he keeps disconnecting, so we will keep an eye out for him there. Who else we got out? Haven't got many people out. Chuckle Brothers on an out lap right now. Not many people out on circuit. Bottomer going very slowly in the McLaren to get out people's way. He is on his out laps. He's trying to find a bit of space for himself to do a qualifying lap. We'll watch with Chuckle Brothers, I think, and see whether they can improve. They're now out on their next set of soft tyres, brand new set of softs. See whether they can go or improve any further. Round the final corner, get a nice exit onto the start-finish straight. Try and build up that speed. Will the Mercedes, lacking in straight line speed in the real life F1 by the sounds of it. The Mercedes complaining they are struggling in a straight line compared to the Red Bull, but no such luck in this game because all cars are set to equal. It is purely the cosmetics and the liveries of these cars that are different. All handle identical. As we go through, Chuckle Brothers goes purple in Sector 1. It's a 1/10 improvement so far. 1/10 wouldn't see them gain any places. It would just see them just get that little bit closer to T2 and Paul Jones up ahead. But as we know, Tom and Paul, incredibly fast drivers. So let's see whether Chuckle Brothers can mix it up with them. They're ever on the improvement. They are getting better and better and faster. And I'm sure they'll be battling with Tom and Paul very, very soon. And it's a purple middle sector and a 3.5 tenth improvement. That still wouldn't see them improve any position, but it would see them get an awful lot closer to Tom and Paul there. So let's see whether he can keep it all together and gain any more time in the last sector. A little bit wide on the entry, but he's managed to hit the apex nicely, and he's got away with it, and he does certainly jump ahead of Tom in the standings into second place, a 1:14.746, only just ahead of Tom, but that's a very, very good lap by the Chuckle Brothers, as we see Tom now coming over the line to see if he can further better his time. Just Benny coming over the line in the Red Bull. His teammates currently sat on provisional pole position. Can Just Benny get any closer and join that fight? Can he do a Sergio Perez and back his teammate up very nicely in the constructors? Go through, not using all of the track through there, but they're not the end of the world, using a lot of curb on the exit of the right-hander in through this fast left-hander. Very difficult. Simon Jr. has retired from the session. Not entirely sure what has gone on there. See if we can see with Chuckle Brothers as he's following them. It looks like Simon Jr. has just retired on track. Yeah, his AI is just driving him around. Unfortunately, Simon has just given up. Without, oh no, that's Gronfeld. What has happened? Where is Simon Jr. then? He must be in the pits. My apologies to you there, Simon. Again, myself confused with the cars. As you continue to watch Just Benny, who's on medium tyres. He's abandoned his lap. He's going to come in. He's not happy with that lap, unfortunately. Well, let's stick behind him. T2 also abandoned his lap on softs. He wasn't very happy with his effort. We will watch Jason, Mr. GFX lad, in the racing point. He's currently on a lap on softs. I believe he's no, it was on softs his previous best, but no, he's gone in. Oh, he just did a lap 1:14.9. That was his previous lap. I'm keeping behind the time. See, 1 week out, and I'm already out of practice. I'm getting it all wrong, so do stick with me, chaps, and any ladies watching through this as we watch the Haas of Keza LUFC now coming through the final sector. See whether he can improve from 15th place. Joven Haas is continuing to struggle with connection issues, keeps joining and going, so he's having a few problems. Hopefully he can get that sorted for the race. As we watch Keza come over the line, can he improve? He certainly can. He can do a whole second improvement, but it still doesn't improve his position, unfortunately. But it puts him an awful lot closer to Just Benny up ahead. Let's see what his teammate's getting on. Like, unfortunately, his teammate has invalidated his lap and won't be improving this time round. Who else have we got out? We've got Jim Bob back out. Currently on another lap on mediums. Russ has decided to retire from the session. He doesn't feel like he's going to improve any further. He is sat in the pit lane while he retires. Let's watch the Ferrari now. Jim Bob coming through this final sector. Looks like he's going a little bit slowly. Yeah, I thought so. It backed out somewhat, so he hadn't improved. He just put a little bit more wear on those tyres. Unfortunate for those mediums. Who else have we got on a lap? We've got Bumper Car Ben on another lap, just negotiating quite a bit of traffic in that middle sector now. As you see, Red Bull's getting out of his way as best as they can. It looks like Just Benny has gone out on some softs. Yeah, Just Benny's gone out on some softs, so he's confident he's not going to improve on the mediums and isn't happy with 14th place. Round the final corner, Bumper Car Ben comes. Can he improve on his time? He certainly does. 6th improvement, jumps up to 5th place. Very nice lap indeed. That demotes Jimbo back down to 6th. I'm sure he'll be looking to better that. And let's watch with the Red Bull of Paul Jones Jr. Can he further improve his provisional pole position. He is currently a good 3/10 ahead of Chuckle Brothers in the Mercedes. We've got Red Bull versus Mercedes at the front. Just what we like to see, just like real life. And just like real life, it seems to be the Red Bull in front, but unlike real life, the Red Bull runs wide and invalidates his lap, and that is Paul Jones's effort out the window. And 2 minutes to go. I don't think he's going to be able to go back and get another lap in time, so that's a shame for him. Jason has come out and invalidated as well. Such an easy circuit to invalidate, unfortunately. Just Bene is also invalidated and getting out of people's ways. Looks like Jovan's back out there. Again, not sure who is controlling the car. T2 is coming out the pits. We've got a few people coming out the pits now. Going to do some outlaps to get ready. Who else? Bumper Car Ben's going for... Is he going for another flyer? No, he looks like he's just gone round and given up right away. Not sure what's going on there. Aki is on a flying lap. Let's see what the Racing Point can manage. Comes around the final corner. The AlphaTauri of Bumper Car Ben gets out of the way very nicely indeed. Hooks the turn in very nicely and gets on the power quite nicely as well by the looks of it. That's a nice corner there by Aki. In through the left-hander, using a bit of curb, but he's run wide and he's invalidated. That is really unfortunate for the Racing Point driver. Once again, more invalidation. So easy to do. Watch his teammate as he comes through the same corner. He is a 10th up, and he keeps it just about in between the lines and round into the second sector now. This is where it gets tight and twisty. And he's keeping it neat and tidy through here. You certainly have to. You don't want to be pushing those fronts too hard. He runs wide and invalidates as well. So it is not going well for the Racing Point lads. Looking good in 4th and 5th though. So not the end of the world. One Wing has retired from the session. Looks like he's done that from the pit lane. So he's well, he's not going to get out and get a lap in time. So he's happy with his 13th place, and that's a very good lap on mediums. He will have 3 choices of tyres to start, so he'll be able to start on brand new mediums if he's got an extra set. T2 has already invalidated on his lap, so he's not going to improve either. Chuckle Brothers is in the pits. It's only Jason out on another lap, whether he's managed the line in time. It looks like he's got a Red Bull breathing down his neck. Hopefully that doesn't put him off too much. Benjamin's given the ghost. He's retired as well. And we shall see as Jason goes around the corner, hugging that inside curb. You can use that to help rotate the car a little bit. Use all the curb on the right-hand side. Just don't use it too much or you will invalidate. In through this left-hander. Just clip the curb on the left. That's beautifully done. 1/10 and a half up. Do not hit that curb on the right-hand side. Otherwise, you will be facing the wrong way. In through the middle sector. Keep it nice and neat. Loses the back end a little bit and he spun and put it in the wall. And Jason is out of this session. That is a shame for him. Aki's on a lap as well, or is he just slowed down? I think he slowed down. Anyone else on a lap? Just Benny might be on a lap, I believe. As he goes through, can he improve further on? He's up to 11th place on those softs. Can he get any better? Is he on a good lap? We will see. He's obviously happy. See whether he can improve. Coming around the final bend now. Up to the line using all the curb. Nicely done indeed. And he certainly does improve up to 7th position. Nice job by the Red Bull there. Anyone else going to further improve? Aki's in the pits. Who else? It's just Jovan. Not sure who is controlling that car. Whether it's the AI or Jovan. Whether he's managed to get in. But he does cross the line and doesn't improve a 122.6. So I think that's probably the AI controlling it. I think that it is everyone finished. It certainly is. Everyone is finished now for this session. That is your grid order there. Paul Jones up in pole position. Chuckle Brothers, I sure will be absolutely ecstatic with that 2nd place. Tom, T2 the B2, did invalidate on his final lap. So I'm sure he'll be very gutted not to jump Chuckle Brothers at the end, because it is very, very close between them. Gronfeld not far behind at all in the 114s, and same with Jason, dipping in the 114s as well. Only a few thousandths away, 5 thousandths away from Gronfeld's lap time, so it's incredibly close, as it always is. Bumper Car Ben, again, not far behind. Then we got 6 tenths down to Just Bene. Jim Bob in the Ferrari is 6 tenths away from sort of 6th, but he is on medium tyres, which will give him the alternate strategy coming into this Grand Prix. I'm sure he'll be looking forward to trying that one out, seeing whether it can gain him a few positions or not. As we wait now, while everyone chooses their strategy, chooses their fuel load coming into this Grand Prix, it is one that you can underfuel a bit, because you can save a lot of fuel through that middle sector. Don't need to run in rich all that often. Strategy wise, if you're starting on mediums, you can definitely make it a one start, go mediums to hards. But a lot of people I know like to make this a 2-stop race round here. Your front tyres do overheat an awful lot, so it can be beneficial to come in, do that extra pit stop, get fresh tyres, and bring those tyre temperatures down, get an extra bit of pace for a few laps. As we wait, nearly everyone ready to go now. Just a couple of people to wait for, but we do have a timer that will count down and get us going. We are on the formation lap though. Remember, new addition for this year. There's your predicted pit stop strategy at the bottom of the screen. Softs to mediums to mediums. The preferred strategy. Obviously, if you are on mediums, that could be different. We will get up some data now for everyone. Let's check in with the tyres. Only person in the top 10 starting on mediums, that is Jim Bob down in the Ferrari, the reigning Tier 1 champion. I'm sure he'll be looking to score some good points this evening, as we see a Mercedes that nearly goes into the back of him on the formation lap. Remember, if you do touch anyone on the formation lap, you will be disqualified from it, and you will start put back to the grid with cold tyres. You will still be able to race, you won't get any damage. You will just have freezing cold tyres to start this Grand Prix. As we look, though, tyre-wise from 10th down. So, DJ Lawson, the first of the runners to have free choice of tyres, and he's decided to go on those yellow stripe mediums you can see here on the those yellow walled tyres. Bottomer also on the mediums in the McLaren behind. Benjamin will be on the hards. That's an interesting call. The only driver to go on the hard tyres. Let's see how that plays out for him. One wing is on the mediums. Keza, interestingly, gone on the softs. He wants a little bit of a benefit off the line. That'll hopefully gain him a few positions early doors, but he will have to pit early. And Jovan and Simon Jr. bringing up the rear on mediums too. As we watch everyone now round in the final couple of corners. It's been quite a steady formation lap. Everyone's gone in at the same sort of pace. Nobody's been left behind particularly, and the last few cars will be lining up now as we get ready for the Hungarian Grand Prix with Road to Glory Tier 1. We'll just wait for the start lights to go. There we go. We got a nice camera angle from the front. 4 lights, 5 lights. They hold, and they're out, and we are racing with Tier 1. It's a good start by the Red Bull. Doesn't look like I've got losing the positions. We've got a glitch further up. Not sure what is going on. Few people going on. Let's check up further up. It looks like Paul Jones has got it in the way. Bumper car Ben's had a bit of an issue. Gronfeld has got into into second place. Jason into third. Jim Bob in first, and it looks like DJ Lawson is into fourth position. The timing screens are completely inaccurate by the looks of it. There's a lot of cars ghosting, so I think we're having a few lobby glitches right now. Good old Codemasters cannot make a game to save their life. Quite a few cars going side by side further back. I cannot jump to who I want to. There's a Ferrari gone up the inside. That is T2 the B2 as we get my my position screens back. That was a very bold move indeed by the Ferrari driver, anxious to make up a few spots after a dismal first lap. Chuckle Brothers down in 8th. They've had a really bad start as well. Obviously had a few issues. It was very difficult to follow people through that first lap because of the position changes, but it looks like Paul Jones has a nice lead over Gronfeld in the Alfa Romeo. There's a second gap. Jason is following very closely behind. Jim Bob looking incredibly good in the Ferrari on mediums tyres. In 4th place, his teammate right behind on soft, but it looks like Jim Bob is dropping back from the pack somewhat, so it'll be interesting to see whether team orders come into play there and whether Jim Bob on those different tyres, on the alternate strategy, is going to let him past at all. Got blue flags there. Not sure why blue flags are being waved. And I'm losing my positions once again. Very, very frustratingly. Come on, co-masters, do sort it out because this is getting silly now. We got a Red Bull and a Haas going side by side down into the second corner. The Red Bull's up the inside. Can he get that move made? They are running side by side through the whole corner. That is beautiful driving indeed. They've gone through, and the Red Bull of Just Benny has that position on DJ Lawson. Good driving by the both of them to get through unscathed there. Nicely done. Oh, excuse me there. Little tickle in my throat as we get back and see what's going on. Jim Bob is losing a lot of ground to the cars in front. His teammate is right behind. They've gapped from Just Benny a bit after their fighting, so no team orders just yet from the two Ferraris. As we look like Jim Bob goes a little bit wide, and that is going to allow T2 through, and I think there's no point finding it for Jim Bob. He's on the different strategy, he's on the different tyres. Let's work together as a team and see if T2 can jump onto the back of Jason. Gronfeld has pulled in within a second of Paul Jones, so he's looking pretty racy indeed. Chuckle Brothers right in behind DJ Lawson. Gronfeld does go fastest lap of this Grand Prix, so it's looking good. One Wing's had a good start, up to 10th. Sure, he'll be very happy with that. Bumper car Ben right behind. There's a big train of cars sort of from bottom downwards, down to Simon Jr. even by the looks of it. As we look to see the Williams trying to make a move. Can he make the move done? He's gone up the inside of Benjamin. Can he make it stick? I don't think he can. No, he can't. Not quite. Unlucky there. Got a big lock up from somebody further back. Chuckle Brothers has gone off the track. Not sure what happened there. We missed the beginning of that. Just from coming back on. He's gone off the track quite a few times. I'm surprised he hasn't got a penalty so far for doing so. Having a few issues, just trying to keep it clean. He is recovering back up to 7th after that fantastic qualifying session, but his start unfortunately let him down. But let's look further back. Got a Williams trying to go around the outside of the McLaren at bottom, and that is a beautiful move by One Wing. Very nice move indeed. Good driving there. And it looks like the McLaren is holding everyone up here. We've got Russ and the Williams going side by side. Once again, this is a very nice battle indeed. Let's stick with these guys. They're looking good. There is a yellow flag in Sector 2. That looks like it is Keza as the Mercedes goes around the outside of the AlphaTauri Bumper Car Ben. Looks like Bumper Car Ben had a little bit of an issue there. The Williams of Simon Jr. has gone up the inside of the AlphaTauri too, so he's lost yet another place. Russ is on the move right now. He is tucked in behind the AlphaTauri. DRS open for both of them. And looks like the Mercedes going to make a move down the inside. Very confident on the brakes there. But the AlphaTauri is going to get the switchback on him and get up the inside. But the Mercedes will have the inside line for this next corner. But it looks like the AlphaTauri is going to sweep round the outside. Can he make it stick? He certainly can. Beautiful racing from Russ and Benjamin. Very, very nice indeed. We see DJ Lawson quite close to the back of Chuckle Brothers. They've dropped off the back of Just Benny, unfortunately, a little bit. There's a yellow flag further back. Not sure what that is. Paul Jones Jr. has a 3-second time penalty for track limits. That is very unusual. Paul Jones very, very good at keeping within the track limits. He is super frustrating. Doesn't matter what circuit you go to, he very rarely gets a penalty. But he is the first driver this afternoon. He is pulling a nice big gap over Gronfeld, so he's obviously pushing very hard. Gap is now 1.8 seconds between first and second, 1.9 even. So it is coming out very nicely. And there is a racing point further back. Who is that? Is that Aki? I think it is Aki. He's had a few issues spinning further back. What's gone on? Unfortunately, no damage by the looks of it. He is on brand new hard, so whether it was a tyre warm-up issue, but let's get back. Paul Jones pulling the lead very nicely. DJ Lawson still tucked in behind Chuckle Brothers. We're going to move further back. Looks like it looks like Simon Jr. is in the pit lane. Chuckle Brothers and DJ Lawson both get a time penalty at the same time, so they're pushing quite hard as well. Jim Bob holding on nicely to his 5th place. A little bit of a lonely afternoon now for him at the moment. He's dropped back from his teammate, but he has a nice big gap behind him to just Bene. We shall see Jason getting ever closer to Gronfeld. Just got it under a second. There we go. Just under a second. 9/10. Can he get DRS? They're about to go through the DRS detection point there. That's the line on the track, and he is 8/10, so he will get DRS, and this will help Jason pull even closer to the Alfa Romeo driver. T2 also has caught up with this pack, so he's got some pace indeed. As we see further back what is going on, looks like Bottom has dropped back a couple of places, maybe a mistake or something, because there was 2 people got past him there. Russ and Benjamin going up. One Wing is in the pits on the mediums. That's a very early call for the Williams driver. Let's see let's keep on board with One Wing, see what he's going to go on. He's going to go on to the hards. He is putting on a set of hards and getting a front wing change by the looks of it. He certainly is, so he's obviously got a little bit of damage on that lap. That's why he's going. And this oh, there we go. I was going to say it's taken an awful long time, but he is going. There was a little bit of a glitch once again, and he slots in behind Joven, which I think is an AI car at this point. Yeah, he has disconnected, unfortunately. Chuckle Brothers are right on the back of just Benny. Bumper car Ben picks himself up a time penalty. That's a shame. T2 the B2 looking very, very menacing indeed. Sat in behind the racing point of Jason. And this is allowing Jim Bob to slowly close in on these guys. And it looks like Gronfeld has come for the pits. He certainly has. He's struggling on those softs, and he's going to pull the trigger. The first car of anyone in the top 5 to make a pit stop. He is going to come out. We'll keep an eye on him there, but this is going to allow T to the B2 a bit closer to Jason, because Jason will not have DRS now. He has it currently because through the detection point Gronfeld was ahead, but the next lap, if they provided neither of these 2 pit, Jason will not have DRS on anyone, so he will be very vulnerable from a very, very quick charging Ferrari. But you can see Jim Bob on the mediums now coming into play. He's catching these guys very, very quickly indeed. And he's within a second as well, so I don't think it's going to be long before Jim Bob's going to be making a move either. One Wing got past the Williams Joven further back, and that is a move made for him, hoping to go to the end of the Grand Prix on those hards. It's going to be a long old race for him to make those tyres last. They're going to be struggling, but hopefully they should make it. As we watch this trio for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, none of them pit, so they're confident in these softs. Gronfeld's come out on the mediums, but let's see, is T2 close enough to Jason? No, he's not close enough to make a move. We do have Paul has come in the pits and bolted on instead of medium, so he's going to go for the 2-stop strategy. He feels like that is the quickest way, definitely. This probably is. If you start on the softs, they do degrade very quickly around here, overheat very quickly as well. And we're going to ride with Jim Bob, I think, for a little bit, because this battle is getting close. Jason has just got a 3-second time penalty, his first one of the evening. He's managed to last to lap 8. I'm sure he'll be pleased with that, but a bit frustrated in himself for getting that penalty. But can he hold these guys behind? But T2 comes straight back at him with another time penalty. So we're just trading blows of penalties now through the middle sector, and it looks like these mediums of Jim Bob are really coming into play. Jason is struggling on those softs. Be interesting to see how much pace T2 has if he can get past. Is he being held up that much by Jason. Looks like we've got a spinner further back, but Jim Bob nearly running into the back of his teammate there. And it looks like both Jason and T2 are coming in. That's going to be a shame for T2 because he's not going to be able to overcut or undercut Jason. They're going to come out together. So Jim Bob leads this Grand Prix on his medium tyres. And this is going to be very interesting how this plays out. See when he decides to pit and when he comes in. But you can tell how much more pace he was having on those mediums. He was struggling in the early stages to go on, but both Jason and Tom going on to hard. No, just Jason going on to hards. Tom going on the medium. So Jason looking to go to the end of this Grand Prix. Tom looking to make it a two-stop as Paul Jones is. They just get out ahead of Bottomer in the McLaren. So that's very key for them, try and get a little bit of clean air, but they're not far behind Russ and Benjamin, so they have lost out a little bit there, and they're a big step behind Paul Jones. They've lost a huge chunk of time. The undercut working fantastic for Paul Jones there. As we watch Jason trying to make a move on the Mercedes of Russ, who's on old soft tyres. He started this race on, obviously Russ started on brand new soft, so they will last a little bit longer, but it looks like Jason is not hanging around and he's going to make the move into the middle sector. That's beautiful. Tom also trying to follow through, but he gets the door closed in on him. Can he make the move? And he doesn't quite, and that's crucial because this is allowing a gap between between Jason and Tom. Tom does not want Jason to get away, but he does get the move made there. Some fantastic racing by these two, giving each other just enough respect. That's beautiful driving by them both, not just what we want to see. But Jason is already on the back of Benjamin, and this could be a key phase of the race because Tom wants to be making a move on Jason already. He needs to be getting past him and putting a gap between themselves because he's only going to have to pit again. But Jason has got the DRS and got past the AlphaTauri, and now there is a car in between the two of them. Tom is going to need to clear this AlphaTauri as quick as he possibly can. I know it's early stages yet, but it's looking a little bit dire for him. Gronfeld's down in 9th behind Bumper Car Ben, so he's not come off too well here. I think he may have had a spin or something. Had a little bit of an issue to drop him that far back. Paul Jones is catching up with DJ Lawson. DJ Lawson yet to stop on the mediums. And the Red Bull driver going to be looking to make a move done as soon as he can. Doesn't look like DJ Lawson has all that much battery power, but Paul is going to use a little bit coming out of there, but there's not going to be enough time for him to get the move done, and he's going to have to wait just a little bit longer. He will have DRS now, though. Coming around there through the detection point, he's going to be much quicker, keeping a tighter line, fresher tyres, just give him so much more grip, using a bit of battery power. DJ Lawson doesn't have much, doesn't fight it too hard, and the Red Bull's going to get through into second place once again. Oh, DJ Lawson outbrakes himself and nearly wipes the both of them out. That is very lucky he didn't. Unbelievable. That was so close. I think he just maybe missed his braking point, maybe watching the car up ahead, but very lucky not to take them both out. He did well to avoid that. They both did. Three wide coming down into this left-hand hairpin. That is Bumper Car Ben, Chuckle Brothers, and just Benny, who's off the track as well. Looks like there was a bit of commotion there. Bumper Car Ben's come off best. Chuckle Brothers right behind them though on fresher mediums. Bumper Car Ben hasn't stopped yet on soft tyres, so those softs must be absolutely screaming for mercy at this point. Chuckle Brothers have pitted recently for the mediums, so they're going to be looking to go a bit further. We see Gronfeld and Bottomer going side by side. Gronfeld's going to go around the outside of the McLaren. Very nice move indeed. And he's got the position made. No contest there. Much fresher mediums. Bottomer just struggling to hold on. T2, the B2, goes fastest lap so far. But he's still 1.3 seconds behind Jason. So, yeah, he's not making those mediums work for him entirely. He needs to be getting past the racing point the Racing Point looking pretty strong right now. He's not that far behind Paul, who will have to make a pit stop again, albeit Paul will be a lot quicker in the latter stages. All have penalties. Let's check in with the penalties. All on 3 seconds, these guys. Jim Bob, though, no penalties, and leading this Grand Prix, albeit he hasn't stopped yet. But he's setting very, very good lap times indeed here. And when he pits, he's going to be in a very, very strong position. I think this alternate strategy could work very, very well for the Ferrari drivers. Both Ferraris looking very racy in this race. They're looking good in the constructors. DJ Lawson still going around on his mediums too. Just being caught by these guys a little bit. But I think we got a bit of a battle brewing further down. Looks like Keza, Simon and Bumper Car Ben all in a little bit of a train here. Keza on 9-lap-old mediums, so he pitted fairly early in this Grand Prix. Simon Jr. on 6-lap-old hards and Bumper Car Ben on brand new mediums. And Chuckle Brothers gets past Bottomer. Looks like Bottomer is in the pits. That is why. It looks like these three going to get very feisty when we come down the start-finish straight. They've got closer and closer with every corner. Looks like tyre advantage all round for the guys behind. And we'll see what they can manage. Bottomer's coming out of the pits, but it looks like Bumper Car Ben's just got so much more traction than the Williams. He goes ahead. There's a little bit of contact by the looks of it as we go down in, but the Williams is going to try at the braking zone, but the AlphaTauri's gone up the inside of Keza in the braking zone, and that nearly ended in disaster, but it was good fair racing by them all in the end, and it looks like Bumper Car Ben's got a very, very nice move done. Keza drops down to 14th. Simon Jr. drops down to 15th, but it looks like Simon Jr. will be looking to make a move on Keza further up. Looks like what has gone on up ahead. Looks like Jason and DJ Lawson and Tom are all running side by side down the start finish straight. This is incredibly close indeed. Looks like DJ Lawson is getting mugged, but Tom is going to go the outside, nearly runs into the back of the Racing Point, but he gets shown the door and shown the track edges. Absolutely, he did have the position, and that has dropped Tom back down behind DJ Lawson, who took advantage of that indeed. I don't think Tom had enough of his car up alongside Jason, who swiftly closed the door. Very nice driving indeed by the Racing Point, and that has allowed DJ Lawson to get past his rival Tom as well, and that is more bad news for Tom. I'm sure he did not want that whatsoever. As you see, Keza pitting on his mediums. He's had enough. He certainly has had enough. Commentator's curse, and retires from the session. At least he's done it in the pits. Good man. As we see Tom getting very, very close to the back of the Haas. He has a lot more battery than the Haas. The Haas's battery light is flashing. As we see Jim Bob still setting good lap times out in the lead. He's very comfortable on that. Looks like Keza's AI car is driving him out the pits, which is rather frustrating indeed. Simon Jr. gets himself a 3-second time penalty. But let's watch with Tom. He will have DRS. He certainly will. There's a yellow flag further up, but he gets the move made before the yellow flag comes out, and they are up into 4th position now. But once again, he's dropped 2.2 seconds back to Jason. You see the gap there, and that's very unfortunate for Tom. Sure, he's not going to be very happy with that whatsoever. Jason running in a very solid 3rd at the moment. Jim Bob still running in 1st, but yet to make his pit stop. The gap has been coming down. It looks like he's come down quite a way on this lap. I'm sure it's going to be only a matter of time before Jim Bob is coming into the pit lane. And he's starting to lap Simon Jr. in 5th place. But I'm pretty sure the Ferrari will be coming in the pits fairly soon. Will it be this lap? No, it won't. He's feeling fairly confident. Well, the gap's gone back up, so I'm not sure whether that was a timing glitch. He went from 9 seconds to 7 seconds and back up to 9. So either they both made a mistake, 1 and 10, or there was a little bit of a glitch there. Tom is already catching Jason. He's caught him up by half a second on this lap indeed. So very, very quick momentum there for him. What's happened? Yellow flag in the middle sector. That looked like the racing point of Aki. And Aki's lost his wing. So it's not going well for Mark. Unfortunately, he will have to pit again. You can see he just goes straight on. Absolutely no grip when you've got no front wing. It's a disaster for him. I'm sure he's going to be very frustrated indeed. But doing very, very well. Still going. Learning no assists. And it's not easy to learn no assists. Especially the no traction control. It's very, very difficult indeed. Especially on a wheel. A lot harder to get the power down. Although you do have a lot more play in a pedal than a controller. You do have less traction, so difficult to get used to. But Chuckle Brothers is right up behind Benjamin. Looks like there is a Williams off. Who was that? That looked like Simon Jr. having a few problems. He certainly is. He is spinning around. Doesn't look like he's got any damage though, but he's spinning around. As we see, Chuckle Brothers closing in on Benjamin. Now Chuckle Brothers on 8-lap-old mediums, Benjamin on 15-lap-old hard. So this is looking close, but Jim Bob is in the pit lane. Jim Bob has pitted. Paul Jones has taken over the lead. And he's coming out on hard tyres. Jim Bob looking to go to the end of this Grand Prix. That is Jason and Tom just gone past him. But look, he's closed right up to the back of me. He's barely lost any time at all, really, in that pit stop. Remember, he was right behind these guys when they pitted. And they've barely got an undercut on him. 2.7 seconds. Considering how many laps he stayed out for, that's nothing. As we watch Chuckle Brothers trying to go at the inside of Benjamin, but not quite made it. So we've now got to remember that Tom also has to pit once again. Jason won't have to pit again, as Chuckle Brothers makes a move around the outside of the AlphaTauri. Beautiful move by the Mercedes. And they're up into 6th place and looking very strong indeed. But yeah, you've got to remember that Tom will have to pit again. Jason won't, but he is on much, much older hards, and he's going to have to be saving them to the end of the Grand Prix. He's going to have to watch on them. Simon Jr. has retired. Not sure where he is on the track, or if he pulled in the pit lane. I can't see him on the map. He's just disappeared completely. But we'll watch with Tom T2 the B2 as he gets very, very close to the back of Jason now. He's within DRS range, and then you can see his teammate now, Jim Bob, there in the background. He will be closing in on these guys. Paul Jones looks like he is running away with this one out front. Penalties all 3 seconds, with the exception of Jim Bob, who's kept it very, very clean. So all he has to do is get within 3 seconds of these guys, which is definitely doable on his fresh tyres. So Jim Bob looking good for a podium right now. T2 comes through your shot, getting quite close to Jason, but not close enough at the moment. No real overtaking opportunities in here unless you have a massive pace advantage. I don't think he's going to at this point. Gronfeld gets a 3-second time penalty as well, so that's not good news for the AlphaTauri. Alfa Romeo, sorry. Too many Alphas in this game. I get myself a little bit muddled up from time to time. Looks like Jim Bob is struggling a little bit. He lost 3/10 in the last lap to these guys, so a little bit worrying where his pace has gone. One wing has got himself a time penalty. There was a yellow flag as well for him. Don't know whether he had a little bit of an issue there. But Tom, yet again, nowhere near close enough to Jason. Jason getting a very good drive out of that last corner, and Tom is struggling to get even close to him. As we're on lap 19 out of 35. You see the state of play right now. Paul Jones out in the lead by absolutely miles, but he will have to pit again on those mediums. There's no way he can make them last to the end of the Grand Prix. Mind you, last time I said that, he did go to the end of the Grand Prix on the set of mediums and made them last somehow, so we shall see. But it would be incredibly impressed if he could make him last that long. He does have a 9.7 second gap, but he will, by the looks of it, come out behind Jason when he does pit. However, Jason won't have to pit again, but Paul will be on much, much quicker tyres. Surely hoping, seeing whether Paul can last it out and go straight onto softs, or whether he'll have to go onto a set of mediums again. We shall see. You see the gap stretching out once again. See whether Tom can get close enough to the back of Jason. Goes in quick, but Jason's getting very, very good drive coming out of that last corner. It looks like Tom's a little bit closer now. He's not using his battery though. He's happy just sat there. He wasn't even using the DRS even. The minute there, did I see? Oh, there he goes. He is using it now. Everyone seems to have spread out a little bit. This is your closest battle on track. As things stand, Just Bennett is closing on Benjamin for 7th and 8th though. As we see that they have dipped under a sec. Just Bennett doesn't quite have DRS this range, but if he stays within that second, he will have it next lap around. You can see on the track map, everyone having a little bit of a spread out at this moment in time. And it looks like what has happened there is that T2, that is Tom. T2, the B2, has spun out and crashed. He has lost most of his front wing and he is in big, big trouble. That means that has dropped him well out of contention for the podium. Unfortunately, he's going to have to go mediums to the end. Hopefully he can make them last 15 laps. He should be able to make them last to the end if he's got another set of mediums. But he's lost most of his front wing. He's dropping him down the order. He's currently in 5th place. We'll have to pit again though. That's absolute disaster for Ferrari. They were looking good for a good points haul. But that almost guarantees Jim Bob and Jason a podium now. But Jim Bob's in the pits on hards. What's this about? Jim Bob only 1.7 seconds behind Jason, but he's deciding to pit, go on to mediums, and go. Oh, Jason is as well. So I see they're both going to pit for fresh medium. T2 the B2 gets a 5 seconds penalty for spinning in the pit lane, so it just goes from bad to worse for him. He's having a bad day of it. But I must say, I'm very, very surprised by Jim Bob and Jason. Oh, safety car, that's why. I completely missed safety car, so they're going to take their opportunity. That explains it, and I do not blame him. Paul Jones has missed the pit lane when that came out, I imagine, because he stayed out. That's gonna be an absolute disaster for Paul, because all of that lead he's gained. Oh, he did. Oh no, he did pit. Paul Jones did pit. Apologies, I'm checking on the tyres. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's on brand new mediums, so that's all good. I thought he might have lost the win there, but he did get in the pit lane, get on a fresh set of mediums. I was a bit slow on the uptake with all of this. A lot of people pitting then, putting on fresh tyres. Chuckle Brothers going for a fresh set of softs. Same with Bottomer further down. Confident they can stretch them. 15 laps. It's going to be a long stretch for the softs, but they have got the safety car, so it's certainly doable. They will fall off in pace quite a bit at the end of the Grand Prix, but they may gain a massive advantage up to then. What is going on there? Is that Aki driving off the track? It certainly looked like it was. He's slowing down. He's trying to let people past, I think. Yeah, trying not to get in the way, but this has certainly spiced things up somewhat. Let's see who stopped, who hasn't. Just Benny, just on the one stop. That's interesting. What is going on back there? There's a few positions changing. I think that's... Oh, Just Benny's gone in the pits. That's what's happened. There we go. Just Benny in the pits. One wing as well on pits on his hards. Obviously a bit slow to react last time around, and it's going to drop them down the order. They're going to plummet right to the back nearly. They might get away. Just Benny, I think, will come out very closely to DJ Lawson. Does he get the position? Who's ahead? It's Just Benny, just. And one wing actually, yeah, just coming out behind Just Benny. So they haven't lost too much ground really to get on those fresh tyres. One wing going for the softs. Just Benny going for the softs as well. It's a good call by these guys, because it puts one lap less on the softs. Means they can stretch it to the end a little bit more. Ironically, Tom, who caused the safety car, it's played in his favour because it's brought him back in the game somewhat, although he has got more penalties than most. We will just check in with the penalties now, see who's in a good position. And so far, looks like Jim Bob's in the best position. In 3rd place, has no penalties whatsoever. Everybody else has 3. Tom has 8. Benjamin and Just Bene don't have penalties either. DJ Lawson has 9, One Wing has 3, Russ has 3, Bumper Car Ben has 3, and then you got Bottomer, Aki, and Joven, which is AI controlled, all on no penalties. Safety car will be in at the end of this lap, so we're going to see Paul Jones now getting ready for this restart. However, he does have a bit of a buffer because Aki is in between these two guys. He will ghost as soon as they go across the line, but up until that point he won't, and that means Jason's going to get full behind Paul Jones, so Paul Jones can only really win on this safety car restart. We will watch them as he gets ready to go. He's going to go very late. He's going to come out the last corner, and he's going to absolutely nail it. Jason is going to look to go past his teammate as soon as he can, but he's going to be very close once again. Jim Bob is looking very, very racy. It looks like he might have the move made on Jason in the racing point. He certainly does. Gronfeld's going to go out the inside, but he loses the back end slightly. Jim Bob and Jason going side by side. Jason has the inside. Jim Bob has the outside. Jason goes deep on the brakes and has got the position back once again. That's a nice move indeed. Chuckle Brothers up to 5th. That's a very nice restart from them indeed. Those softs really working well for them, and they're in 5th position right on the back of Gronfeld on mediums. T2 has got yet another penalty for corner cutting, so he's really, really struggling right now, but that was a beautiful restart by him. T2 has once again spun and dropping down back the field. He's not having a good afternoon here, Tom, unfortunately. But you live and you learn, and the best way to learn is to make mistakes. Paul Jones has a massive 2-second gap up ahead, so he's looking pretty good for this. Jason gets himself another time penalty, and that's only going to play dividends for Jim Bob. If Jim Bob can get past, he needs to stay within 3 seconds, and he could get the race victory here. But it looks like Paul Jones is pulling a nice gap indeed. Mark is not getting out of the way of his teammate, and he is sat there ghosting through him. Although it will give Jason DRS when it becomes available, but it looks like the Ferrari's a rocket ship down the straights, and he's going to go around the outside. Can he hold on to that? Looks like he has held on to it, and he's going to make it the inside. He's going to learn from his mistake on the previous lap, but he's not far enough up ahead. Gronfeld is going to try and get in on this battle, but he can't quite. Chuckle Brothers also looking to pick up a few scraps at the back, and there's a big gap back to Benjamin further behind these guys. Jim Bob loses the back end just a little bit, but he's got held on to it. And that's just given Jason a little bit of breathing space coming into this middle sector. Oh, Chuckle Brothers goes up the inside of Grunfeld. There's contact. That was a beautiful move. Unfortunately, there was a bit of contact there between the two drivers, but that was brave and committed on those soft tyres by the Chuckle Brothers. I'm sure they will be absolutely ecstatic with that. That was a do-or-die move, and they pulled it off to perfection. Very nice indeed. And they're up into 4th position. What's their penalties? They're on 3 seconds as well. So they're not going to get ahead of Jim Bob here, but these soft tyres working out really well. They will have to look after them. Jason is coming into the pits. Jason into the pits. What's going on there? DRS enabled. He's not feeling comfortable at all. And he gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's going from bad to worse for Jason as he drops further down the order. Surely going to get on a set of soft tyres now. But Paul Jones has pulled the gap out to 4.7 seconds. He is running away with this victory. Can Jim Bob muster up the pace to catch him? Get within 3 seconds. If he can, he could be on for a race victory. But as things stand, Paul will get it. Jim Bob will get second. And he goes, Chuckle Brothers get purple first sector. That's very nice for them indeed. They are tucked in behind Jim Bob with 3 seconds of penalties though. However, Gronfeld behind has 3 seconds of penalties, so they're safe. It looks like if they keep it together, they're on for a very, very good podium indeed. Jim Bob's struggling a bit, and he is losing time to Paul Jones, so it looks like he's struggling, and it looks like Chuckle Brothers is going to have the run on them coming down in the second sector. They're going to back out of it now. They're not feeling as confident as they were against Gronfeld this time around. But looks like they're going to have the pace on Jim Bob if they do manage to get the move made. But it looks like, I reckon Jim Bob's going to get DRS off of Mark, who's being lapped, and keeping with these guys, setting up a very, very good pace indeed. Yeah, they've both got DRS, and Jim Bob is a rocket ship in the straight line, as we saw earlier. so it's holding him back, but they have both got past Aki now, so if they can keep going, if they can keep ahead of Aki, then this is only going to play in Chuckle Brothers' favour. They are dropping back from Paul Jones all the while. Looks like Just Benny's in the pits as well. He's dropping down the order. Jason did come out in 12th, but on brand new soft, so see what he can manage to the end of this Grand Prix. Into the middle sector now. Sector 2, yellow flag. Who's that? Was that Gronfeld? I think it was Gronfeld. Gronfeld has spun no damage to the Alfa Romeo driver, but he's down in 6th. He's lost position there. One wing up into 5th place. He's having a heck of a race there. Same with Benjamin in 4th. They're going to be very happy with this if they can stay there. One wing on those soft tyres, looking very close to the back of Benjamin. We will jump back with them, but let's see whether Chuckle Brothers can get a move made on Jim Bob this time around. They will have DRS. Jim Bob will not have DRS. Looks like they're going to be a little bit too far back, though, I think, come this time around. Can one wing get a bit closer? Yeah. Yeah, Chuckle Brothers too far back by the braking zone, but one wing is getting very close to AlphaTauri, and he goes up the inside on the brakes. The AlphaTauri is going to get the switchback on him, and he gets back into 4th, but DRS once again up the inside. One wing goes, and he has made that move stick into 4th place. That is a beautiful move by one wing. Very nice driving indeed. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely ecstatic. In 4th place, he's having a cracking drive, that Williams is. Chuckle Brothers still on the back of Jim Bob, putting pressure on. The gap has stabilised somewhat between Jim Bob and Paul Jones Jr. Up ahead. We haven't really seen much of Paul. He's just been pretty much running away with this race. It looks like Jim Bob is quicker in the middle sector. That's just pulling out a bit of a gap. Chuckle Brothers not having much battery to play with. Jim Bob has a bit more, so yeah, Chuckle Brothers just struggling a little bit. I'm sure they're going to be very happy with 3rd place, but I'm sure they're going to want that 2nd if they can get it. Remember, if they do get past, they're only going to have to disappear in the distance by 3 seconds to get that place. They're very, very close to the back of the Ferrari by the braking zone, but it's not going to be close enough. And they run a little bit wide. However, this is dragging them further away. They've got a 7-second gap to one wing. So I think it's podium secure for these guys. Benjamin is still very close to the back of one wing. Cannot make the move done. There's Aki is retired from the session. Aki is out. That is a real shame. Where is he out? He is out of the last corner. What has happened to him? Oh, is he crashed into the pit lane? I'm not sure what's happened there. That's a real shame for the Racing Point. He is out, and that's brought out a VSC. So keep it calm, guys. Do not get a drive-through penalty. Keep within your time delta. As we wait for the Racing Point to be cleared. It has gone. But we will wait for the safety car, VSC, sorry, to come back in. When will it come back in? We are on lap 28 of 35. DRS is enabled. Does anyone get a drive through? No, I don't think they do. I think we're all good. Oh, no, just saw a penalty there coming up. But it was just a warning for track limits. But Gronfeld has gone up the inside of Benjamin. That's a very nice move indeed. And it looks like Jason is out of this race as well. Just Benny's spun and Bottom has had to go around the outside. That's beautiful avoiding from them. And it looks like, whoa, Just Benny's just gone round, and there you see the stricken car Jason. That's where he went out in qualifying, and that is where he's gone out in the race too. Chuckle Brothers looking ever closer to the back of this Ferrari. Can they make a move on him? He's looking very close indeed, looking very quick. Jim Bob holding up the pressure very nicely though. Gronfeld has cut up to the back of one wing. So one wing hasn't been able to escape too much. Gronfeld making his way back up through the field after an earlier spin. Very fortunate not to get damage. But he's got away with it and making a few places up. If he can get 4th out of this race, I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that. That's some really good points for him. But one wing is going to want to hold on to this 4th place, because that will be a cracking result for the Williams driver. You see the gap going out slightly further again between Chuckle Brothers and Jim Bob. It just doesn't look like Chuckle Brothers are going to get that close enough. Jim Bob is saving his battery. Chuckle Brothers aren't quite so much. I think they need to just save a little bit more and then make an attack. Just haven't saved it well, and they're just not able to get close enough. And there's every lap rolls by, those softs are going to die more and more. But let's watch with Gronfeld. He's going to have the DRS on One Wing. One Wing knows it. He is in trouble. He's going defensive. He's going to go to defend the inside, and then he's going to go back to the racing line. Gronfeld sends it up the inside. That was a very late move indeed, and he does spin nearly. He just holds on to it. That is a real shame he couldn't hold on to that. It was a very, very late move on the brakes. One Wing very compliant and giving him room. Didn't want to make contact. That was very clever racing by One Wing, and he managed to keep the position. So very, very good indeed. Tom T to the B2 in 6th place. He is making his way back up through the field as well on his mediums, and she's going to be very happy indeed. Chuckle Brothers has dropped back quite a bit from Jim Bob, so it looks like they've made a little bit of an error here. But let's ride with Tom. He looks like the man on the move right now. Well, using a bit of curb, but just getting the entry in wrong. One Wing going defensive again. Bumper Car Ben doesn't have much battery. Neither does One Wing, who's using his battery now, which he really shouldn't be doing. Should be saving his battery for the straight, because he's going to need it. He's going to be in trouble with these two bearing down on him. Gronfeld not far behind either. DRS is open. One Wing once again goes to defend the inside line. I think he's going to stay there this time, is he? Yeah, he's going to hold the inside line, because Bumper Car Ben is very, very close indeed. He parks his Williams on the apex. Very nice driving indeed by One Wing. He is holding on to this beautifully, defending once again the inside. He's run a bit wide. There's a bit of contact between him and Bumper Car Ben, and Tom's going to go up the inside and take advantage of it. But the AlphaTauri swipes across in front, and it looks like Gronfeld's going to get the undercut on T2 the B2 as well. There's some very nice battling indeed. It is aggressive, but it is fair by all of these. Nice racing indeed, and some fantastic defensive driving by One Wing to hold these guys up. Absolutely brilliant. Chuckle Brothers has dropped back now 2.9 seconds from Jim Bob, so their softs are really dying off at this stage. But they're pretty safe from these guys. Ahead, and Benjamin's actually catching these guys up too. So it's not looking... One Wing, if he holds on to this, I will give you a round of applause, mate, because this is some fantastic driving. I think you deserve one. Anyways, Gronfeld loses the back end a little bit coming out the second to last corner, and he's dropped the position to Tom. Let's see what is going to happen here. Bumper Car Ben is going to get a nice run on One Wing, who is going to hold the racing line this time. But the AlphaTauri sends it up the inside. Once again, he's going to push them both deep, and that allows Tom to go through. That is... One Wing's dropped back so many places now. He's back into 7th. I'm sure he's not going to be happy with that. Unfortunately, Bumper Car Ben leaning on him a little bit and pushing them both wide. And that has meant that he's had to concede a load of positions. But if he can stick with these guys with it, penalty wise, T2 has the most penalties. Bumper Car Ben also has 6. So if they can stick with them, they will gain the positions anyway on track. But we're gonna see. One Wing, although, gets himself another time penalty as I say that, so he will not be getting any positions at the end of the day, and he drops out of a second anyways. He could be under threat from Benjamin, who has no time penalties, and that looks like it is Bottomer, who is not sure what is going on there. It looks like he's had some... He's just parking it on the exit of turn 1. That's interesting. But let's get back to the action, shall we? Looks like Gronfeld's on the back of Bumper Car Ben. One Wing's dropped back quite away from these guys. He was clearly holding them up a bit. Tom extending his lead on Bumper Car Ben, desperate to try and pull a bigger gap as he can. Gronfeld sends it up the inside of Bumper Car Ben, like Bumper Car Ben did on the previous lap, and leans on him and gets that position made into 5th. Nice move there. Benjamin very close to the back of One Wing, but he hasn't got that position again. I mean, it's still a good return for One Wing. Russ catching up though One Wing had been running on the fringes of the top 10 for the majority of the race, so any points for him, I'm sure he will gladly take. One bumper car man on the back of Gronfeld still, so this battle is continuing. As they go through the final sector, bumper car Ben goes against himself. Another time penalty, and that's going to drop him down a little bit as well. It looks like he is struggling to keep up with Gronfeld, really, the grand scheme of things. I think he's still within DRS range here. As he comes across the line, he will have that DRS, but he's too far back now. Benjamin's going to be pretty close to One Wing. Benjamin using all of the track and a little bit more on the exit of the last corner. But he's not close enough to One Wing. Doesn't have very much battery at all. Sector 1 yellow flag. What's that for? That is for Bottomer, who is out on wet tyres. So there we have it. Bottomer deciding that it is going to rain and that he wants to have a go on wet weather compound tyres. And that is only going to end in disaster, I imagine. Oh, sliding it. Beautifully done by the McLaren. Should we watch him for a little bit? As he, nicely held through the left-hander. Oh, it is actually raining. That's why he's gone on these. I don't think it's going to... think it's a bit premature to go on these wets. I think maybe Inters might have been a better call, but I think even they would have been... bit early, excuse me there. Bottomer still struggling. Paul Jones on his final lap now. This is going to spice things up if it is raining. See if anyone does end up losing it. It's going to get very, very slippery indeed. Benjamin all over the back of One Wing. Can he make a move? No, he cannot by the looks of it. Giving the Williams a little bit of a nudge through turn 1, but the Williams does have the ascendancy anyway, coming out of it. And you can see the rain starting to come down a little bit more now. It is going to get very slippery. This could invite a few mistakes like that. Gronfeld's run a little bit wide, got himself a time penalty. Bumper car Ben still all over the back of him. And it looks like Russ has dropped down a little bit. They're not sure what has happened there, but let's jump back up with the leader, Paul Jones. We haven't seen much of him this evening, but he's rounding the final corner to win the Hungarian Grand Prix in Tier 1. He's run away with it right from the beginning. Paul Jones Jr. wins. Jim Bob will come home. He's held the gap at 5 seconds, and it will be 2 seconds with the penalty across the line. Chuckle Brothers will come home third. T2 the B2 has caught them right up, but he has far more penalties than them. The Mercedes will come home for a fantastic podium finish, and Tom will come home fourth. Gronfeld will jump him though by the line with the penalties and get into fourth. Tom will be fifth. Bumper car Ben will be sixth. One Wing will come across the line in seventh. Yeah, I don't know whether he's going to drop down. Russ has finished. DJ Lawson finished. Yeah, Bumper car Ben sixth. One Wing seventh. Russ eighth. DJ Lawson ninth. Benjamin ninth. Yeah, there you go. DJ Lawson does drop down to 10th with the penalties. Just Bene just out of the points. Very unfortunate for the Red Bull driver there. Bottomer will come home. He's on his wets. How's he getting on? He's looking pretty happy on those wets. He's loving it. He's absolutely loving life. That is a beautiful drift. Come on, Michael. Let's see what you're made of. Through the final corner, the McLaren comes. There's massive understeer, but can he turn it into a little bit of oversteer and get the power down over the line? Bottomer rounds off this grid in 12th. Wow, what a race that was. What a race. Driver of the day given to One Wing. Please, if you got a driver of the day, do vote in the chat. But what a race we've seen. What a race we've witnessed. You see Paul very, very happy celebrating there. I'm sure he's going to be ecstatic with that win. Jim Bob, fantastic comeback through the field. Started on those mediums, made the strategy work for him. And he goes into second place. Chuckle Brothers come home with a fantastic podium. Really, really good drive for them. Them softs really working well on the safety car restart. Gaining positions left, right and centre. Holding a good pace up to the checkered flag. Gronfeld fourth. Tom in fifth. All things considered, I'm sure Tom will be very happy with that, because he had quite a drama-filled race there. But that was it. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Please do tune in next week. It was lovely having you all. Thank you, everyone. But until next time, bye-bye.